Tim said he was really jittery before the game. Did you talk to him at all in the locker room or right on the court before the game and try to calm him down? And what do you think of his overall performance?
I absolutely did. It was just him and I before we ran out. We had a nice moment together. He's worked so hard to get to this point. And you can understand, jacked up in the first 20 minutes. I think he settled things down in the second, which is good.
I don't know if you're thrilled with 30 makes, but are you pretty happy with 43 free throw attempts? And just talk about having got two guys that can really get to the line like that with the new rule, without the new rule.
We have to adjust as coaches, and we're trying to. Obviously it's an advantage for us right now. We got two really good guards. Three, I would say Ross. He got in foul trouble and then messes kids up. We just got to continue to coach, continue to do the best we can, see how guys are calling it, and adjust in media timeouts. And that's what we were talking about. Do a better job chesting, do a better job getting the spots, and make them make difficult twos. For us to get 43, trust me, that last 5 minutes felt like 2 hours. And I'm the coach, what I mean? But, I take advantage of their speed. I wanted to get Tim and DJ to the line, and that's the plays we were calling to get them to the foul line.
We saw Donovan Jack take a few shots early in the game. Was that the game plan to try to get Donovan Jack involved early to free up DJ and Tim?
With Donovan and Brandon and Wiz and Julian, as he gets back going, we want to get them the ball. It's not like I don't want an inside game. I do. It's going to help us. It'll take pressure off the guards. But the last couple days in practice, I've been talking to Donovan about sealing, about wanting the ball, and about going up strong. And he's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So got a good stroke. So either way, I thought he did some good things. Again, another guy in foul trouble. I think that's the greatest challenge for coaches now. Your kids are going to get in foul trouble. What are they doing on the bench? How are they staying in tune? Are they staying focused? I throw them on the bike. We have a bike tucked in behind the bleachers. Get on the bike. If I feel like I'm going to put you in, let's say it's 12 minutes ago, I'm going to put you in under 8, go on the bike for 4 minutes. Just little things like that to keep them focused, get the sweat back. Because they're sitting there, they get cold. I think that's the biggest challenge. But it wasn't like a goal of ours to give them the ball, but it just happened that way.
Coach, Wagner opened the second half on a 10-1 run and cut into your lead, and then it seemed like from then on, Tim seemed to take over for a bit, hit a few layups on fast breaks, knocked down a three-pointer. Can you just talk about the turnaround at that point?
We talked about it in the at halftime. We said that this is a really, first of all, they're extremely well coached. This is a really good team, and you'll see them in the NCAA tournament. That's how good they are. We did not take them lightly. We felt like it was going to be a Big Ten game, and that's the way we played. So really good team. So 10-1, obviously, in the coach, you do everything you can to prevent it. But having Tim back and DJ and those guys being able to get us to the foul line, hit a big three, and kind of stop their momentum and slow it down. They got a couple good spurts, but I never felt like it was time to really get concerned. I think it got to 6 maybe, and I think Tim might hit a 3, or we answered the bell every time they made their little runs, which was good to see. It showed us where we are right now.
Both teams are kind of slow out the gate, and you guys finished with just under 36% from the field. Was that just due to first game jitters, or?
I just said it to the team. I said, first game's always the toughest. I don't care who you play. Last 3 years, the first game's always been the toughest. And I would say first game jitters. You want to play. Unfortunately, they're trying to play perfect, and you just got to go out there and play, relax, exhale. And we've been working since August, so just whatever comes natural. We've taught you what to do. Just do that.
With that in the way Wagner shot, there were a lot of rebounds to be had. You had the edge. Tim and DJ each had 10+. What do you think about the way you rebounded as a team?
You know what? I thought we did a pretty good job in the first half. I was pretty fired up, and then they took 23 threes, so there's a lot of long rebounds. We got our hands on a lot of balls and rebounds and deflections, whatever you want to call them. We couldn't squeeze them. But it's definitely something we're working on every day, rebounding. You know, you got a great team coming in here on Wednesday. They're going to rebound the ball. They got great bigs as always. So we got to do a good job of taking care of the glass. And then you got 2 guards who get double-doubles for you. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But they can't do this all year long. And they won't have to, trust me. I feel good about Ross, Brandon, Donovan, AR. I feel good about our bench. It just, the lineups that we played today, just what presented itself.
You mentioned you guys kept answering the bell. Were you hoping you guys would pull away at some point? They kind of hung around between 8 and 11 points for pretty much the whole way through the end. Were you hoping you guys would pull away, or are you pretty comfortable with where you guys sat?
You're never comfortable as a coach. You know, obviously you want to take 8 and make it 11, and 11 make it 14. I just think Wagner's that good. You know, they got great guards, they got good bigs, they're athletic. I mean, they were going through the same thing we were going through, foul trouble. So I thought it was a very difficult game to coach, to play in. And, you know, I was pleased, obviously, with the outcome, but I was really pleased on how they kept competing and battled.
Wagner started the game 0 for 7 from 3, and you held them to a very good 25% field goal percentage in the first half. I was wondering if you could talk about what was your defensive strategy going into the game and what adjustments were made throughout.
They have really good shooters in Harris and Rivers. They were actually missing a guy. I believe his name's Burton. Not sure where he was, but they have good shooters. And then the kid Ortiz is a senior. He's a big-time player. He's an all-league player. So we were trying to get to their feet. We were trying to speed them up. Obviously, they took advantage of that second half. They started driving the ball more, got us in some foul trouble. But we're doing a good job so far defending the three-point line. And I think that's going to be important. And then the next thing's got to be, well, we got to keep guys off the line. We got to keep them off the line.
I know you talked about guys that earn the right to make those shots or take the shots, but Ross is 9 of 66 from 3 throughout his career, and he seems to do a lot better when he's around the basket. Knowing that he's the kind of guy that you say can be like the MVP, a real critical part of what you're doing, do you ever have to take a time out, not like take a time out for him, but to remind him of what he's really good at and what maybe he shouldn't?
Honestly, I thought Ross was ready to play. I mean, he shot the ball well last week, and he comes in, he works. Nobody works harder than him. And he got in foul trouble. And I think what you saw today is a product of a young man who's in foul trouble, and he's got to adjust in the mind. But we mixed it up a lot. We had Ross on the perimeter, we had Ross inside. But again, he's on the bench, so your hands are kind of tied.
Were the early fouls in each half, alarming to you? And on the opposite end, how did you feel you were at the free throw line? I mean, Tim was talking about how he wishes he converted a little more at the free throw line himself.
Yeah, we got to be over at least 70% if we're going to win some of these close games. I'm glad we got to the line that much. We have to adjust again when they're calling fouls like that. I didn't think the officiating was poor. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the way they're supposed to call it. You know, as coaches and players, we have to adjust. For us to leave 13 free throws, 13 points on that court, it's just too many points. It's too many. I mean, then you win by 16, 18 if you make a couple free throws.